Have you ever been told that chia seeds are one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Tiny, powerful, packed with nutrients. That's what everyone says, right? But what if I told you that these same seeds, the ones you sprinkle on your smoothie bowl every morning, could quietly destroy your health if you use them the wrong way? This is not a myth. This is science, and it's something most people have never heard before. Everywhere you look, influencers are calling chia a superfood. They say it burns fat, balances sugar, and gives you endless energy. But here's the dark truth. Chia seeds can also cause dangerous blockages in your throat, your stomach, even your intestines, all depending on how you eat them. And the craziest part, most people are making the same mistake every single day without realizing it. Let's start with a simple fact. Chia seeds can absorb up to 12 times their weight in liquid. Sounds great for hydration, right? But that same property turns deadly when you swallow them dry. Inside your body, those seeds start expanding, forming a sticky gel that traps whatever it touches. In the wrong moment, that can mean your throat, your airways, your digestive tract. There's a case from North Carolina that doctors still talk about. A man took a spoonful of dry chia seeds and drank a glass of water right after. Seconds later, he couldn't breathe. The seeds had swollen in his throat, sealing off his airway completely. He survived, but only because doctors performed an emergency procedure to remove the gelled mass. That's how powerful these tiny seeds are. They don't just absorb water, they pull it from everything around them, even from your body. Now, you might think, okay, but I soak my chia seeds in water before I eat them, so I'm fine. Not so fast. Even soaked chia can cause problems, especially if you overdo it. Here's why. Chia is loaded with soluble fiber. When you eat too much of it, your digestion slows down dramatically. Food moves through your system like it's stuck in traffic. You start feeling bloated, heavy, even nauseous. That's not detox. That's your gut struggling to move. And there's something else no one talks about: gas expansion. When chia absorbs liquid in your stomach, it traps air and liquid in that jelly structure. That gas has to go somewhere. For many people, that means cramping, pain, or pressure that feels like your stomach's about to explode. But the story doesn't end there. Chia seeds are incredibly high in omega-3 fatty acids, the same kind found in fish oil. Normally, that's great for your heart. But if you're on blood thinners like aspirin or warfarin, chia can silently turn into a threat. It makes your blood even thinner. One small cut, and your body could struggle to stop the bleeding. For people with heart conditions, that's not a health boost. That's a serious risk. And here's the biggest irony. The same people chasing health with chia are the ones it can harm the most. Older adults, people with gut issues, those on medication. They're told to eat chia every day, but their bodies process it differently. Their digestive systems are slower, their hydration levels lower, and their medications can interact in dangerous ways. So if chia is this risky, why does nobody warn us? Because the health industry runs on trends, and chia sells. It's in bars, smoothies, energy drinks, yogurts, even puddings. Every product screams clean, natural, organic, but natural doesn't mean safe. Remember, hemlock is natural too. Let's go deeper. When chia forms that gel inside your stomach, it doesn't just slow digestion, it can trap nutrients and block absorption. The very vitamins and minerals you're trying to get can get sealed inside that gel mass, passing right through your system unused. So you think you're feeding your body, but you're actually starving it of what it needs most. Even more shocking, chia's fiber content can pull water out of your intestines if you don't drink enough fluids with it. Over time, that can cause dehydration, constipation, and mineral imbalance. So what's the right way to eat it? The answer is simple, but almost nobody follows it. Always pre-soak chia seeds for at least 30 minutes, ideally overnight. Let them expand fully outside your body. Never eat them dry, and never take them as a shot with water. Mix them well, make sure they're hydrated, and most importantly, know your limits. A tablespoon a day is more than enough for most people, but here's the hard truth. The world doesn't want you to know this. Because Chia Danger doesn't sell as well as Chia Miracle, they want you to believe that more is always better, that if one spoon is healthy, 3 must be life-changing. That's the lie that feeds the market, and it's the same lie that's quietly hurting people around the world. But let's be honest, no one ever tells you how much chia is too much. People toss it into everything: smoothies, pancakes, oatmeal, protein shakes. Some even eat tablespoons of it straight out of the jar, and that's where the real danger hides. You see, your body isn't built to handle unlimited fiber. The same thing that makes chia healthy is what can wreck your digestive system when you go overboard. When that fiber meets stomach acid, it forms a gel so thick your body can barely move it. It's like swallowing glue. Doctors have reported cases where people's intestines literally slowed down to a crawl after eating large amounts of chia. They describe it as a functional blockage, not caused by a foreign object, but by the food itself. Imagine that. The very thing you ate to get healthier ends up trapping everything inside you, and it doesn't happen instantly. It creeps up. One day you feel a little bloated. The next day you're constipated. By the end of the week, you're wondering why you feel heavy and tired all the time. You think maybe you need more chia, more detox, when in reality, your body is screaming for a break. That's the dangerous cycle, the superfood trap. We keep adding more of what we think is helping, without realizing we're feeding the problem. And it's not just the stomach that suffers. There's a side of chia most people never talk about: the blood sugar effect. Chia is praised for balancing blood sugar, but that's only half the story. When you eat too much, the slow digestion it causes can mess up the timing of your insulin response. Your body expects sugar at a certain speed. Chia slows it way down. That mismatch can leave you dizzy, tired, even shaky. Now imagine this happening to someone who already struggles with diabetes. They eat chia thinking it will help, but instead Instead, their blood sugar becomes unpredictable. One moment it's low, the next it spikes. The seed that promised balance ends up causing chaos. And here's another thing. Chia's omega-3s, as powerful as they are, can interact with other nutrients. They compete with omega-6s, another type of fatty acid your body needs for brain function and hormone production. If you load up on chia without balancing your diet, you can actually trigger inflammation, brain fog, and fatigue, the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve. Sounds insane, right? But that's the problem with half-truths. The internet gives you just enough information to make you believe you're doing something good, but not enough to keep you safe. Let's take a closer look at hydration, because chia and water are a double-edged sword. You've probably seen those chia detox drinks all over TikTok. People pour a glass of water, toss in a spoonful of chia, wait a few minutes, and chug it down like it's magic. They claim it keeps them full and helps them lose weight. But here's the catch. If your body isn't properly hydrated before you drink it, chia starts pulling water from your intestines instead. Instead of hydrating you, it dehydrates you from the inside out. You'll feel full, yes, but you're not nourishing your body, you're draining it. Over time, that can cause fatigue, headaches, and electrolyte imbalance. Your muscles cramp, your skin dries, your energy crashes, and all you can think is, maybe I need more chia. No, you don't need more. You need to stop. Here's something even scarier. When chia sits in liquid too long, like overnight, especially in sugary drinks or milk, it can start fermenting. That gel traps bacteria and sugars, creating a perfect breeding ground for gas and bloating once you consume it. It's not detox, it's fermentation inside your gut. And while we're on the subject of your gut, let's talk about how chia changes it. You've heard the word fiber so many times it's lost its meaning. But here's what happens on a microscopic level. Chia's soluble fiber absorbs water, expands, and pushes against the lining of your intestines. That pressure stimulates your gut, making it move. At first, that's good. It helps digestion. But if you do it every day, that constant expansion weakens your gut walls. Think of a balloon you keep overinflating. Eventually, it stretches, then tears. That's how chronic bloating, leaky gut, and inflammation start. And if you already have IBS, Crohn's disease, or any digestive sensitivity, chia can make your symptoms 10 times worse. Doctors have found that for some patients, even a single tablespoon can trigger flare-ups, cramps, diarrhea, and sharp abdominal pain that last for hours. Still think chia is harmless. The food industry loves to tell you that it's ancient, that the Aztecs used it for strength and energy. And that's true, but here's what they never mention. They didn't eat it like we do. The Aztecs roasted chia. They ground it. They mixed it with other foods, balancing it with grains and fats. They didn't dump dry seeds into a smoothie and call it breakfast. They respected the ingredient because they knew it was powerful. We forgot that part. Now let's talk about the biggest mistake of all, the one almost everyone makes without realizing it. You see, most people treat chia seeds like a supplement, not a food. They think, if I just add a spoonful here and there, it can only help. But the truth is, when you eat something with that much fiber, fat, and expansion power, it becomes a force inside your body. And if you don't respect that force, it will turn against you. Think about it like this. Would you ever swallow a dry sponge and then drink a glass of water? Of course not. But that's exactly what happens when you toss dry chia into your mouth or sprinkle it on yogurt without giving it time to expand. That seed becomes a sponge inside you, one you can't squeeze out. There are countless stories online, people who thought they were doing something good for their health, but ended up in emergency rooms with severe stomach pain, choking sensations, and bowel blockages. Some needed surgery to remove the mass that chia created inside them, and yet no one talks about it. Why? Because chia gone wrong doesn't sell ads. Fear doesn't trend, hope does. So companies keep packaging chia in colorful bags with labels like Pure Energy, Gut Health, Miracle Detox. They're not selling health, they're selling comfort. They want you to believe that health comes in a scoop, a packet, a quick fix. But here's the truth, real health doesn't come from what's trendy. It comes from what's consistent, balance, moderation, awareness. Let's dig deeper into what chia actually does inside your body. When you consume chia, your body has to work extra hard to digest it. The outer shell of the seed is made of insoluble fiber. It doesn't break down easily. That's why you often see chia come out of your system looking almost the same as it went in. That means many of the nutrients, calcium, protein, magnesium, never even get absorbed. You're not feeding your body, you're feeding your toilet. And here's something even more surprising. Chia can mess with your mineral balance, because it binds to minerals like zinc and iron, preventing your body from absorbing them properly. So if you're already low in these nutrients, which many people are, chia can quietly make your deficiency worse over time. That's why some people who eat chia daily start feeling tired, pale, or weak, even though they think they're being healthy. They're slowly depleting the very minerals that keep their bodies running. Now imagine pairing that with dehydration. When chia draws in fluid, it doesn't just stay in your gut. Your body has to give up water from your tissues to help move it along. So the more chia you eat, the thirstier you become, even if you don't feel it right away. That hidden dehydration can cause brain fog, fatigue, and muscle cramps. Have you ever felt off after a so-called healthy smoothie? That sudden dizziness, that weird pressure in your stomach? That could be chia, expanding, fermenting, slowing everything down. And then there's the allergy factor. Some people's immune systems mistake chia proteins for something harmful. The reaction? Swelling of the lips, itching in the throat,
difficulty breathing, and in extreme cases anaphylaxis. But no one ever mentions that in those shiny 10 reasons to eat chia every day posts. Let me make one thing clear. Chia itself isn't evil. The danger comes from ignorance, from treating something powerful as if it's harmless. Even water can kill you if you drink too much of it. So why would anyone think chia, a food that expands 10 to 12 times its size, could be eaten carelessly? Here's another brutal truth. Most of what's written about chia online is recycled marketing. Articles copy each other, repeating the same health claims without checking the science. Rich in omega-3, good for digestion, helps you lose weight, sure, but at what cost? No one tells you the full story because the full story doesn't make people click buy now. Let's talk about weight loss for a second. That's the reason most people start eating chia in the first place. They think it will help them feel full longer, eat less, and shed pounds. And yes, at first it might work. That gel in your stomach creates a feeling of fullness, but it's a fake signal. You're not full because you're nourished. You're full because your stomach is stuffed with water and fiber. That kind of fullness doesn't last. When it fades, you feel exhausted, not satisfied. Your body starts craving sugar and quick energy to make up for the lost nutrients. So you snack more, you eat worse, and before you know it, the superfood that was supposed to help you lose weight has actually slowed your metabolism. That's the silent trap of chia. You think it's helping, but over time it's training your body to rely on filler instead of fuel. Here's where things get really dark. You've heard that chia can cause bloating or constipation, but the truth is, it can do far worse. Inside hospitals, there are cases doctors don't talk about publicly. People who suffered internal blockages so severe that their intestines had to be partially removed, and in almost every case, it started with just a tablespoon a day. That's how deception works. It doesn't look dangerous at first. It builds slowly, silently, until it's too late. When chia absorbs liquid, it doesn't stop. It continues to expand until it reaches its maximum capacity. But here's the twist. Your digestive system isn't uniform. Some parts move food fast, others move slow. So while some chia passes through harmlessly, other bits stay trapped, pulling in water, swelling, and turning into thick gel plugs. Your body can't process that. It can't move it. It just sits there, blocking everything behind it. People describe the feeling as being full of cement. You can't eat, you can't digest, you can't even breathe comfortably. Now imagine this happening to someone elderly, someone whose digestive system is already slower, or whose medications reduce gut motility. What happens then? A superfood becomes a silent threat, and it's not just physical. The mental toll is real too. Many people who religiously eat chia every morning end up feeling sluggish and foggy later in the day. They think they're detoxing, when in reality, they're starving their brains. Why? Because chia traps nutrients in its gel, blocking proper absorption of glucose, the brain's main energy source. Over time, that leads to fatigue, confusion, and even mood swings. You think you're doing something healthy, but your body's begging for fuel it's not getting. And still, the wellness world keeps pushing it. Smoothie bowls, overnight oats, detox water. Every influencer out there is selling the same dream. One tiny seed can change your life. Yeah, it can, but not always for the better. Let's talk about the lies in that dream. They tell you chia can reduce cholesterol. What they don't tell you is that studies proving that effect used controlled doses under clinical supervision, not random spoonfuls thrown into energy drinks. They tell you chia keeps you full. What they don't say is that full can mean bloated, gassy, and constipated. They tell you it's great for your skin, but they forget to mention that if chia causes dehydration inside, your skin actually loses elasticity and moisture. That glow they advertise, it's just lighting and filters. The problem isn't chia itself, it's the way we've turned it into an obsession. Because obsession with any one food, no matter how super, always ends in imbalance. And imbalance is the true enemy of health. Let's take it one step further. Chia's effect on the heart. Yes, it's rich in omega-3s, but not all omega-3s are equal. The type found in chia, ALA, must be converted by your body into EPA and DHA, the active forms your heart actually uses, but your body's conversion rate. So while you think you're fueling your heart, you might just be overwhelming your liver. And for people on medication, that can mean real danger, because chia can lower blood pressure. Combine that with blood pressure meds, and you're heading straight for dizziness, fainting, or even collapse. It's the perfect example of how something natural can still clash with your biology. Now let's pause for a moment and talk about marketing, because that's where this entire chia phenomenon was born. The health food industry doesn't care about you. It cares about clicks, packaging, and profits. If tomorrow's scientists discovered that chia causes memory loss, you'd still see it on shelves, just with new branding, now with brain-boosting potential. That's how the system works. It's not about what's true, it's about what sells. And chia sells because it's small, trendy, Instagram worthy and easy to sprinkle. It gives the illusion of control, as if adding one magical ingredient to your morning routine can erase a lifetime of bad habits. But no single seed can fix an unhealthy lifestyle. No miracle food replaces real balance. You can eat chia every day and still be unhealthy if you ignore hydration, sleep, and proper nutrition. And that's exactly what millions of people are doing. They wake up, blend a smoothie, add chia, and think they're done. Health in a cup. But inside their bodies, something else is happening. A slow, quiet imbalance that no influencer will ever show you. Because health isn't about trends, it's about truth. So what's the truth behind chia seeds? It's simple. They're not evil, but they're not magic either. They're a reminder that even the healthiest things can hurt you when you don't understand them. The truth is, chia wasn't meant to be eaten by the handful. It was never designed to be mixed into every drink, every meal, every day. It was meant to be used carefully, like a tool, not worshipped like a god. But that's what we've done. We've turned a humble seed into a symbol of wellness, a brand, a lifestyle. We've forgotten that nature doesn't make shortcuts, it makes balance. People chase miracle foods because they're desperate for control. They want a fix, a solution, something easy. But real health doesn't come from shortcuts. It comes from understanding, from listening to your body before you listen to trends. When you strip away the marketing, the filters, the influencers, what's left? Just a seed that absorbs water, a seed that can either help or harm, depending on how you use it. And that's the real message no one talks about. Health isn't about what you add, it's about what you understand. You can eat kale, drink green smoothies, or sprinkle chia seeds every morning, but if you don't know why you're doing it, then it's all just noise. Maybe that's what we've lost in the age of superfoods. We've replaced wisdom with trends. We've replaced balance with obsession. And that obsession, that hunger for instant health, is what's truly dangerous. Because at the end of the day, no seed, no powder, no pill can do the work your body is meant to do on its own. You can't hack nature. You can only respect it. So if you really want to be healthy, stop chasing fads, drink water, move your body, sleep deeply, eat real food, not what looks good on Instagram. And remember this, the next time someone tells you this one food will change your life, ask yourself, who told me that? A doctor or a brand, a scientist or a seller? Because the difference between truth and marketing is what separates healing from harm. The chia seed isn't your enemy, but blind trust is. So the next time you see that glossy photo of a smoothie bowl, pause, think, and maybe, just maybe, don't believe everything that shines.